Hi, and welcome to the Owatonna Today show. I'm Shelley Whitehead. As you know, we could not do this program without those wonderful businesses who stepped up and said they'd like to be a part of this. So we'd like to give a shout out to them this morning. We'd like to thank our premier supporters. They include the City of Owatonna, Express Employment Professionals, Owatonna Public Utilities, Safe and Drug-Free Coalition of Steele County, United Way of Steele County, and the Steele County Food Shelf. Thank you to them. Also, thank you to our primary supporters. They include Amy Swain Hearing Centers, Coda Living Community, and Park Place Senior Living, Little Theater of Owatonna. And of course, we could not do this without our interlude supporters, and they do include Abraham Consulting Technologies, A+, Sew and Vac, Brenda Bednar Mortgage, Glenn Meager and Tim Thomas of the Brick Meager Funeral Home and Medford Funeral Home, Brookdale Senior Living, Sterling House in Clare Bridge of Owatonna, Carlson Branstad and Company CPAs, ERA Gillespie Real Estate, Fairview Animal Medical Center, Horizon Eye Care Professionals, Clancher and Son Landscaping and Concrete, Napa Auto Service, Owatonna Business Incubator, Pizza Ranch of Owatonna, Profenium Financial, RNK Electric, Snap Fitness, Steele County Blades Junior Hockey, Steele County Historical Society, Third Hand Incorporated Video Productions, and TPS Insurance. Thank you to each and every one of those businesses. And if you like what you see right here on the Owatonna Today show, please go and let those businesses know that you appreciate their support and then give them your business. It all works out together. If you would like to be a part of this and be a business that supports us, you can give Leanne a call at 390-5751. And we do actually take personal contributions. If you do love this show and it helps you through the week because we bring a little bit of information that helps you go through, you can always send us a contribution. You can email them. Sorry, don't email contributions. It doesn't really work that way. You need to mail it to the Owatonna Today Show at 1130 North Elm Avenue in Owatonna, 55060. Thank you so much to each and every one of those. Stay with us. We're going to be talking to the United Way as well as Brenda Bednar right here on the Owatonna Today Show.
Hello, I'm Sean McNulty.
And I'm Deb Gillard with Brookdale Senior Living, Sterling House, and Clare Bridge of Owatonna.
And we are a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
I needed more than just another dead-end job. I wanted a career, so I expressed myself.
With the kids off to college, I decided it was time for me to go back to work and express myself.
Express got me in touch with some really great companies. Now I'm on my way to a great career.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Express yourself today.
Hi, I'm Dr. Beth Giltfett of Horizon Eye Care Professionals. Eye care you can trust. We're proud supporters of Owatonna Today.
This March, as part of Minnesota Food Share, we hope to raise $100,000 and/or pounds of food. Minnesota Food Share contributes additional money based on our local donations. In 2012, 3,671 individuals living in Steele County registered at the food shelf. By the end of 2012, the food shelf gave out 600,000 pounds of food. Thank you for your generosity. With your support, we are able to provide a resource in Steele County for our neighbors in need. No one in Steele County should go to bed hungry.
And we're back with the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Shelley Whitehead again. And I do have with me Carol and Dave. We're so excited that you're here today. It's Carolyn, actually. I should say it correctly, shouldn't I? I rename people often, so at least I didn't call you Bob.
No problem.
Because that could happen, knowing me. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. And if you don't mind, I'd love for us to start with you giving a quick breakdown of who you are and what you do in the community. Let's start with you, Carolyn.
All right. I'm Carolyn Wheeler, and I'm director at South Central Human Relations Center, which is a community mental health center that serves primarily 3 counties of Steele, Dodge, and Waseca. And we've got a staff of about 120 and multiple programs.
Oh, important work. Thank you. And so would you introduce yourself a little bit?
And I'm Dave Albrecht. I'm the president of Owatonna Hospital, member of the United Way board, and chairing one of the subcommittees of the United Way strategic plan, which is what we're going to be talking about today.
We are, because this is all about the United Way today. And recently they've received an influx of a donation from Bremer Bank, and we're talking about how those funds are going to be used. And so I want to start with you, Dave, and talk a little bit about what the United Way has decided to do with these funds.
Certainly. A couple of years back, the United Way went into an in-depth strategic planning process to determine if we wanted to expand the scope of what we were doing. I think a lot of people are familiar with the United Way funding many of the local agencies that provide human services and other things to people, seniors, whatnot. And we were funding agencies, and that's all been done really well. But I think we were still thinking that maybe we were missing something, that we could really impact our community by taking a look at some of the root causes of the conditions that people get themselves in, and trying to make changes there at a grassroots level. So that's what the board approved a couple of years ago, and we formed 3 committees to take a look at this. One of them is the Health Committee, which I am the chairman of. There's an Income Disparity Committee, and then there's an Education Committee. And we're really trying to say in each of these committees, what are the key contributing factors that impact people along their life journey, that present them with challenges that result in them being of low income, or being of less education, or dealing with significant health issues. So the Bremer Foundation looked at this as we were forming it, and decided that this was something worthy of a grant. And so we were fortunate this past fall to be announced as a $200,000 grant recipient to help us along this path and this work, which is ongoing.
What was interesting to me is that you said earlier that oftentimes the United Way has the services, but for the back end. So they find the problem, they have an issue, and then the service is provided. Right. Yet United Way is trying to actually circumvent that even from the beginning. Right.
Many of the agencies deal with the back end conditions of what we're trying to address more in a systemic fashion that can help people earlier and intervening earlier. Each of their agencies that we noticed were doing some of that too, but it was spread amongst each agency, kind of doing their own thing. So we wanted to take more of a systemic view of it and look at it from that standpoint. I think one of the driving factors too is the needs just keep rising with more and more people accessing these services, and the funds to pay for that are very thin. So this was another attempt to try to kind of manage problems so that we didn't end up having problems funding all of the back-end resources, which are all great resources. Important. And they will continue to be needed. There's no question about that. But it's the level of the volume of the number of people that can be served, and we're just trying to manage that or reduce that.
And Carolyn, I think what's interesting is that this is based on Owatonna. So we're not looking at the broader, or the area that we're in, not necessarily the Twin Cities. The information that we have that we're going to try and glean is from Owatonna. And so you are working with the health side of this. And talk to us a little bit about the health committee and kind of what are you looking at as far as trying to find out where the systemic problems are.
Okay. And first, I would say that I think we are looking within Steele County.
Okay.
We are looking within Steele County, and yes, I'm on the health committee, and I think and I want to say also that we have 2 of our programs that do receive United Way services or funding, 2 of our programs, and so as a recipient of some of those funds, I think that. And while we serve adults who have mental illness, I think it's been very interesting to be participating in the health committee, because there is a broad membership of those of us who may be more involved or concerned about the health, from public health to physical health to mental health and others. We've got good membership there.
I think sometimes I'm so glad you said that, because sometimes we forget that mental health is just as important as the physical health.
Yes. And certainly one of the things that we know about with the mental health population is that, well, it is a small percentage of the population, that what's going on is that those who have mental health issues have a great impact in the the cost of health care. So to look at those situations that might come up with people that have mental health, looking at how they might better manage their own health decisions having to do with smoking or obesity or management of chronic health conditions. So, in fact, our health committee has decided that we wanted to focus in on 4 key areas.
Okay, so and that makes sense because there's so many you could. So
That's
just
right.
take a focus. And
That's
what are
right.
those areas?
Those areas are obesity, asthma, and oral health and depression. And we're really looking at a lot of the research that's generally available as well as what's locally available to help us with knowing how to zero in. And I think one of the things that we found was there was an interesting overview by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation that really, if we could say, I've got another copy just to take a look at, that what you see there is that there are some direct causes. It might be a little hard to read, but some of the direct causes of poor health show as lack of exercise. They're more the...
So here's the poor health, and,
Okay.
and each one is directly linked.
Right. There's a direct link shown between lack of exercise, poor diet, smoking and substance abuse, whereas there's an indirect link with poor health for lack of education and knowledge and cultural differences, low quality medical care is a direct link, but access and the struggles that people have with accessing quality health care, we are talking
if you can't feel well, how do you get to the health care? Yeah.
Exactly.
And so I wanted to go to you, Dave. And so the committees are working on this, but you also have a company coming in to help you take a bigger overview. And who is that?
Yes, we do. Just backing up for 1 second, I think the reason we selected those 4 in the health committee was based on state data. We do have a state researcher coming down to work with us next week on further looking into those. Asthma is probably going to fall out of it, but the other 3 will continue to be the predominant. The depression, obesity, and what was the third
Oral
one?
health?
Oral health, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Kind of slips my mind. But yes, we did commission a research firm that's going to help us. Our committees have kind of looked at this and narrowed it down, but we have Rainbow Research based in Minneapolis who are now in the process of formulating questions for focus groups. I participated in that last week. I will be a facilitator of some of those focus groups. They also will be doing employer surveys. They're going to be doing CEO roundtables and community dialogue around all 3 of these, all 3 of these conditions, along with income and education. I think what we think we're going to find is there's correlation between all 3. There is some commonality of root cause in education, income, and health that we believe we're going to find. So it's kind of an exciting time. Still not sure exactly what this is going to look like, but in the fall we should have something to bring forward to the United Way board as to how do we proceed, which also the Bremer Fund will be used to implement.
Good. Well, and I'm sure that people can contact United Way if they want to be a part of this. If they'd like to be part of the focus group, they can contact them and let them know of their interest.
At some, there's multiple opportunities, so perhaps maybe not a focus group. Those will be targeted, but some of the other community dialogue sessions, by all means, if you call the United Way office.
Good. I want to thank you so much, Carolyn and Dave, for your time, and we will be back with the Owatonna Today show.
I'm Diane Wilson of Profinium Financial, the bank that helps you achieve your financial dreams. Profinium Financial is proud to be a supporter of the Owatonna Today show.
The Owatonna Police Department would like to remind you to drive safely this winter season. Clear all snow and ice from your vehicle's windows before driving on the road. Turn on your headlights to increase your visibility to other drivers. Reduce your speed to match the road conditions. Increase the distance between you and the vehicle ahead of you. Approach all intersections with caution as if they were slippery. Doing these simple things will decrease your chances of becoming involved in a fender bender this winter season.
Everyone deserves opportunities to have a good life, a quality education that leads to a stable job, enough income to support a family through retirement, and good health. But the reality is, many children fall behind, many families are struggling, and many others are in poor health. United Way's goal is to find long-term solutions. Thanks to a grant from the Bremer Foundation, we're hosting community conversations this year to address these issues. If you'd like to join us, please call our office.
Hi, this is Dr. Amy Swain, and I want everyone to hear better. At Amy Swain Hearing Centers, we offer many different brands of hearing instruments because everyone has a different lifestyle. Let me, Dr. Amy Swain, help you find the best hearing device for your hearing needs at Amy Swain Hearing Centers of Owatonna, Austin, and Waseca. Call 1-800-804-3361 for an appointment today, or visit my website at www.amyswainhearingcenters.com, because you deserve to hear better.
Hi, I'm Brenda with the Mortgage Office of Brenda Bednar, aligned with American Mortgage and Equity Consultants, where closings feel right from the beginning. I'm a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today show.
Welcome to the Owatonna Today show. I have with me Brenda Bednar. Hello.
Hi.
How are you? I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm good too.
Good.
We're all good. I'm so excited you're here because I've been saying your name for months and I haven't had a chance to meet you yet. So again, first of all, thank you for being a supporter of the show. We do really appreciate that. But I want to talk to you today. Tis spring. 'Tis the season, and now a lot of times people are thinking about putting their home up for sale. There's a lot of things going on in the home market. So let's first of all talk about the market itself.
Okay.
As you look at the Owatonna area, what are you seeing as far as trends go with homes and that kind of thing?
I think we're finally coming out of it, which is
the dark hole.
Great news. Yeah, kind of the hole that we never thought we would get out of.
Yeah.
I think right now there's a shortage of homes. We have a lot of home buyers who are pre-approved and ready to go, but they're competing when it comes down to a house. And some of them a couple times, but some of them 5, 6, 7 times, and they're getting frustrated going, gosh, I wish there were more houses for sale.
So if you are thinking about putting your home for sale, do it, because you're going to have options.
I would agree, and I think any real estate agent would confirm that.
So in regards to that, do they have to worry about, so as you are going through and doing these homes, are they looking at finished homes? Are they looking at fixer-uppers? I know for a long time it was the flipping the house deal.
Yeah.
So or does it matter really right now?
It doesn't. I mean, we see a lot of still first-time home buyers because it is still a great opportunity with interest rates ultimately low. Prices still very low. We had something recently, being a rural community, meaning non-metro, we have access to a U.S. Department of Agriculture program that allows people to buy a home with zero down.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, so other than that, the only other group that was allowed to do that were veterans.
Oh, okay.
And so this really opens up a plethora of opportunity for people, not only first-time home buyers, but repeat home buyers if they're under a certain income level based upon the household. But that is
options.
There are a ton of options. I see so many people calling and they'll say, I've been saving and saving and saving. Do I have enough saved for a down payment? And I'll lay out their options, and they'll really recognize that they didn't realize that there were so many options just because of what the media has kind of instilled in other areas.
Well, and I think that's also an important thing we talked about a little bit earlier, is that you also have options in who does your mortgage, that you don't have to go to your bank that you do banking with, that there are other people. So let's talk a little bit about that, because you own your own mortgage company. What does that mean exactly?
Yeah, and actually, you know what, contrary to that belief, I actually don't own my own mortgage company. What I'm in a W-2 employee, and I work for American Mortgage and Equity Consultants, and I am a branch. So it is to the extent where I get to make some of the decisions, but I still am under their umbrella as far as licensing and structure.
Which is probably a good thing, because they have the lawyers and those
regulations,
kind of
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I am state licensed for the state of Minnesota and have to follow those guidelines. But I'm a correspondent lender. I know you had referred to something called a broker. In my position, being not attached to one entity, I work with a number of different banking entities. And then I'm also able to broker products that we don't even do with these banks.
Okay.
So currently I'm working on something called a rehabilitation loan, where it's something we don't do all the time and we don't do with our main investors, but we have opportunities to do niche products for maybe people with needs like the rehabilitation or credit scores maybe that aren't as high. So it just gives me more options.
So when looking for someone to work with, when you're getting these mortgage, kind of find out those companies that might have those niche, like you maybe get something you didn't know you could.
Right.
By going to someone like yourself and saying, well, let's look at all the options, not just what the bank has.
Right.
But what can you find, the networking skills that you've set up.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think it's a tremendous benefit. And, you know, in my career, I've contemplated and maybe been offered positions with one entity alone. It's not that that was not a good entity. It's just I really like having my options and being able to show clients. And if, for example, an option that I have is not the best one, and maybe I should direct them to a local government agency, maybe for very low income, I still will recommend people to go the way that makes the most sense for them.
Well, and I appreciate that because for a long time, one of the reasons we're in this problem is that there were people who weren't doing that.
Exactly.
So if someone's interested, I'm thinking about buying a home, and you talked about being pre-approved. How important is that?
Crucial.
Yeah.
I think the first question that a home buyer will get asked by someone showing a home is, have you been pre-approved? Because the worst thing you can imagine is going out and falling in love with a home and not really knowing if you can buy it or not.
What does that pre-approval process look like?
It involves me basically filling out an application for you. I can do that by phone, in person. We have internet now. You can do...
you just got the internet? That's
no,
great.
No, we've had it forever. But
I'm just teasing you.
Yeah, but you can do secure online applications.
That's fantastic.
It really is, and it gives people who work all different hours or putting their kids to bed and they just have time to do it at night. We pull their credit. We look at their credit, their liabilities. I completed as far as verifying their employment, gathering all their income, asset documents, tax returns, making sure they have the money for the down payment if they're wanting one, making sure they're not over income thresholds, things like that.
What is an income? What do you mean over income threshold?
For example, for that USDA loan, they can't make over $82,000 for a family of up to 4 for a Steele County.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you fill out the application. Then what you're going to do is tell them what they're approved for. And so that's so important when looking for a house because then you're not overshooting.
Right.
You're not looking for more than you can afford.
Right. We do a lot of, I do a lot of counseling with people. Lots of times people say, well, how high can I go? My question is, how much are you comfortable with? Have you done your budgeting? You know, and we'll take a look at what your costs are today as renting or in your current living situation and what it will be if we, you know, buy a house of that size. And does it make sense? And a lot of people will go, oh, I didn't really realize that. And maybe they'll, you know, change
so when you buy
their
a car,
mind.
realize you have to pay the insurance and you have to pay the tabs. You know, it's not just that one price. There's so much more involved.
Yeah, it really is.
How do you, when I first looked for my first home, I fell in love with a home. I couldn't get it. I went and cried.
Yeah.
How do you maybe prepare your clients for that same situation? What is some advice you can give people as they're looking to be careful of that?
Yeah, I truly try and slow people down. I see too often that people, they get emotionally attached and they can see themselves there and said, you know what, stop. It's a 30-year commitment. This is a really strong commitment. And with the real estate market, how it has been in the last few years, it's not as easy to buy a home and then go, you know what, this is not working out, let me sell it, and be able to come out from underneath it, especially with low or no down payments. So first and foremost is slow down. Let's make sure we work out all the details. Yes, right now, short term, it looks like we can afford it, but what happens in 5 years when, you know, your car's paid off, but you're going to need another car?
Yeah.
We have to judge everything.
Good. So. One of the things that you mentioned that made me think is if somebody's in a situation where they feel like they are just kind of drowning because of a loan that they took out 5-10 years ago when things were so much more expensive, what options do they have today?
Okay, if they want to refinance or something.
Is that,
well, there's some government initiatives out there that the president has put into effect, the HARP and the HAMP, and these are a lot of things that it depends upon what type of loan you're currently in. And we do a lot of streamlined refinancing where they're not looking at the appraised value so much. But they are still credit conscious. And unfortunately, I think there's a lot of misunderstanding with consumers. And I think what the administration talks about, that it sounds like it's a lot easier than it really is.
Okay. So just be aware, but come talk to you about that.
Yep,
See what
what
the options they have.
Absolutely. And it may be me just saying, you know what, you need to work with your current servicer. And sometimes, you know, the consumers don't understand what the servicer is saying. So we'll get on a three-way call and I can hopefully translate, and just so that we can.
You do a lot of translating, don't you?
I do. Yeah.
So how long have you been in this business?
Over 10 years.
Okay. And you've seen a lot then in that 10 years.
Yeah,
You've watched it go.
it's amazing.
So do you feel like we are going to be going back to where we were? Or do you think we've learned our lesson of overbuying? What do you think?
You know, I would say the majority of people, I would say, have learned their lesson. I still think there's some out there wanting to go big, but it's just a part of natural, the way we are as human beings.
Good. Well, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for supporting the show too. But it's been a pleasure talking to you. And maybe if we have people, if you have questions, make sure you contact Brenda and get those questions answered before you kind of get in trouble.
Absolutely. Yes.
All right, we'll be right back with the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Jake with Napa Auto Parts.
Napa has the know-how for all your automotive needs.
Napa is a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
Have you talked to your teen about marijuana lately? Maybe you should. Regular marijuana use can sap a teen's motivation to learn. Users do not live up to their potential and drop out of positive activities. Marijuana affects memory and learning and stays in your system for weeks. Marijuana also affects judgment and perception. Reaction time when driving is reduced by 41% after smoking one joint and 63% after smoking two, affecting the safety of your teen and other drivers on the road. You need to talk to your teen about the effects of marijuana use. It's not just a harmless high. For more information, please contact the Steele County Safe and Drug-Free Coalition.
Hi, I'm Jan Hansen, and I am at A+ So and Back, the fun place to be. We are proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
And we're back with the Owatonna Today Show. I love working here. It's fun. We want to do some community service announcements for you, so make sure you know what's going on in your community and get out and do some of these fun things, like the Owatonna Art Center is presenting the Riverland Community College Choirs. That's coming up April 7th at 2 p.m. They're presenting music ranging from Renaissance motets to the Beatles and Broadway songs. It is led by Scott Blankenbaker, Riverland's Director of Choirs. Students and alumni will share an afternoon of folk, popular, sacred, and jazz music. It is free. It is open to the public. It is at the Owatonna Art Center. That's coming up again Sunday, April 7th at 2 p.m. It's just going to be a fun time for you to get out and hear some great music. Potter Making His Mark in Functional Art is an exhibit by Tom Willis at the Owatonna Art Center from April 7th through the 28th. A pottery exhibit will be held at the Art Center with a reception Sunday, April 7th from 1 to 4. I love pottery myself, and if it's something that you find interesting and unique, it's a great opportunity for not only meet the artist but see some of his works. I really encourage you to get over there and try that. We've talked a little bit about pickleball right here on the Owatonna Today Show. Leanne plays pickleball. She does, and she says it's a great sport. It's a lot of fun, and it's exercise, but it's fun exercise. And so what the pickleball group is trying to do is they're trying to get some funds to help rehab one of the outdoor courts that used to be tennis and make it a pickleball court. So if you've heard about this, if you haven't, let us know. We'll tell you all about it. But we'd love for you to be a part of that, and you can contact the Owatonna Chamber Foundation at the Owatonna Chamber of Commerce if you'd like to help fund those courts and get some people to have some family time outside this summer. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next week right here on the Owatonna Today Show.